Today we're installing PicoClaw from scratch the clean way. No curl pipe bash, no mystery scripts, no 4GB Python zoo. By the end of this video you'll have PicoClaw running locally, using under 10 MB of RAM, with your API keys stored safely and, if you want, in a sandbox container. If you just want copy-paste steps that don't brick your machine, stay with me. Quick context so you know what you're installing. PicoClaw is a tiny Go-based agent framework. It does not run the LLM on your machine. It talks to an external model over an API, but the agent logic, routing tools, that all runs locally in this tiny Go binary. So the speed and efficiency come from almost no RAM usage, almost no startup time, and zero Python dependency hell. Now let's get it on your machine. You need two things before we start: Go 1.21 or newer A terminal and basic Git. Step 1, check. Go. Open your terminal or PowerShell and run Go version. If you see something like Go version Go 1.21, you're good. If you get command not found or an error. On Windows, go to the official Go download page, grab the Windows installer, run it, then open a new PowerShell and run Go version again. On Linux or macOS, use your package manager or the official tarball from the Go website. Don't grab random builds from blogs. Second, you need Git. On Linux, your package manager, sudo apt install git or equivalent. On Windows, install Git for Windows from the official site, then reopen PowerShell. On macOS, Xcode select install notin for on dan. Install d wahantabroer d and user. Usually gives you Git, once Go version and Git version both work. You're ready. Let's start with the bare metal method. This is the simplest, and you can always containerize later. In your terminal, clone the repo, git clone, https, github.com, sciped, PicoClaw, git go into the folder, cd PicoClaw, build the binary, go build, o PicoClaw, cmd dir PicoClaw, no sudo, no curl pipe bash. You're building from source, so you know exactly what's going on. When that finishes, you'll have a file called PicoClaw in this directory. Check the size, ls, lh PicoClaw. You should see something around 810 miles. That's the David in our David versus Goliath comparison, versus multiple gigabytes of Python and dependencies in the usual stacks. If you want to run it from anywhere, move it into your path, sudo mv PicoClaw, usr, local, bin. Now test it. PicoClaw. Help. If you see a help menu instead of an error, the binary is live. Windows people, same idea, just slightly different commands. Open PowerShell, clone the repo, git clone, https, github.com, sciped PicoClaw, git go into the folder, cd PicoClaw, build the executable, go build, opicoclaw.exe.cmdn PicoClaw. When that finishes, you'll see picoclaw.exe in the folder. Check the size by right-click, properties if you want, or run, in PowerShell, getitem.ipicoclaw.exe. Select object name length again, tarn 10 MB. If you're used to installing 4GB worth of Python to make one agent talk to GPT, this should feel illegal. To run it from anywhere, add this folder to your path, or move picoclaw.exe into a folder that's already in path. Test it, in PowerShell, rpicoclaw.exe. Help. If you see help output, you're good. Now PicoClaw needs a brain, an external LLM. It can talk to providers like DeepSeek, GitHub-based models, DuckDuckGo's offerings, etc. What we're not doing is hard-coding API keys in random scripts or pushing them to GitHub. On Linux, macOS, in your terminal, choose a provider, for example. DeepSeek, export PicoClaw. Provider, DeepSeek export PicoClaw. API key, your real key here. On Windows, PowerShell, env PicoClaw. Provider, in DeepSeek, env PicoClaw, in API key, your real key here. If you want this persistent, you can store them in your shell profile or a .env file, but lock that file down. On Linux, macOS, chmod 600.os and env concept is simple, keys never hard-coded in source, never shared, never pasted into random websites. Now test a simple call, linux.macOS, PicoClaw. Say hello in one sentence, windows.rpicoclaw.exe. Say hello in one sentence. If you get a normal response, your provider and key are wired correctly. If you don't like tools running directly on your host, this is where sandboxing comes in. On a machine with Docker installed, create a config folder somewhere, mkdir, p spurs PicoClaw config. Then run, docker run, d, name PicoClaw, v spurs PicoClaw config, app, config, a PicoClaw provider, DeepSeek, a PicoClaw API key PicoClaw API key GHCRDO SciPed PicoClaw latest. This does a few things. Pulls the official PicoClaw image, mounts your config outside the container, keeps your host OS cleaner. If you're using Incus, or LXD, the idea is the same. Container has GPU pass-through if you need it later, but the framework itself lives in a safety box, not welded into your main system. To confirm it's running, Docker logs PicoClaw. Run a quick test inside the container or via exposed command, depending on how you wire it. Point is, if something goes wrong, you delete the container. Your host stays boring and safe. Let's quickly sanity check resources. On Linux, macOS, PSA, DAS, grep PicoClaw. On Windows, use Task Manager and look at memory for PicoClaw XE. You should see single-digit megabytes. Boot time is basically instant. That's why PicoClaw feels snappy while the usual Python stacks feel like starting a small operating system. Rapid. So that's a full, safe, no BS PicoClaw install, built from source, keys stored sanely, optional sandbox, and a footprint so small it can run on a $15 board. If this helped you avoid yet another 4GB AI starter kit, subscribe. Next video, we'll actually wire PicoClaw into a real workflow and benchmark it against the bloated stuff.